All right.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, before spring break, you gave me some spelling tests for Cheyenne and Gabe and Gus and these other four.
Okay.
So, over the extra spring break, the
Yeah.
walkout, I went through and scored them. These two were your lowest. They fall to within word patterns, and we'll go over in a few minutes what that means. Your three that were in the middle were Gus, Natalia, and Kaz, and they need some help with their unaccented final syllables. Mac and Isaiah, your strongest, which you said you were your strongest readers anyway, fall into the same group of syllables and affixes, but they are a little further along with what they can do.
Okay.
So I want to show you how to score one of these tests.
Okay.
So that you can keep an original and a blank one and maybe use it to group kids into learning groups. Because if you go in and do some word sorts with them and you put these two together, they're going to get what they need. And then these two in a whole separate group they don't need what these two need. Yeah. They're in a different place. So they can each group be working on what specific needs they have to help them be better learners and better spellers and better readers. So the first thing that you want to do, and this looks like a lot of squares, but it's pretty easy. Okay. So the first word was switch. And you look here, it says SW. Did they get that right? Yes. Help with my pencil. Then it has the I. Did they get that right? Yes. TCH, that's correct. Smudge. You can see here they left the D off. They still get points for the SM.
Yeah.
They still get points for the U, but not the DGE because they left the D out.
Okay.
So trapped. They've got the TR, but do you see how they only have one P? So they don't get a point here. Scrape, they spelled correctly. They got the SCR and the A with the long E at the end to make, okay. Knotted, they got that all correct. The two T's and the KN and the O. So I'll have you go through and let's check.
Okay. So they got that. They got that. They got both of those. They didn't get that.
Yeah, they left the T off.
I could see this being like a little time consuming too.
Yes, but if you do it like 3 times a year, 3 or 4 times a year, you can really see improvements.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can really see that what you're working on with them is helping, and that's kind of cool. Yeah. And it gets faster.
Okay.
The first time I scored one of these, it took forever.
And you get faster.
And then I got faster because I knew better what to look for. And it's kind of interesting when you go back through to see, all these kids are not putting the double consonants.
I think it'd be funny to take it myself and see how I did, because I don't think I would do great. That's funny. Okay.
No, and then it goes to the next page because there's 31 words.
Oh, I see. Keep going.
Same thing.
Oh, I lost my spot. Monarchy. Okay.
And I thought all the kids spelled monarchy and civilization correct almost and I think that's because of history class.
Oh, yeah.
Because they see those words more.
That makes sense. It's funny because it's like not in order. Nope.
So right away, even without going through and scoring, you can tell that these kids the person that took this test needs some help with doubling those consonants.
Right.
It's obvious. So then what we do after you've gone through and done the check marks, you look at how many marks are here. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5. That's okay.
Yeah.
4 out of 5 is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 9. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 7. That's okay. Once they get to a difference of 3, that's where you start instruction.
Okay.
So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So that
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 out of 8. That's a 3 different. So this would be syllables and affixes, inflected endings, and syllable juncture, which kind of is like, wait, what does that mean? But I've got what that means over here for you, and we'll go over that in a minute. They may need help, and it may be low scores here.
Okay.
But this is the order that kids learn things.
Okay.
So if they need help further down the line, yes, that's great, but you still need to start at the earliest one, otherwise it makes a gap, because the way that their brains learn, they learn this first, and then this is something they learn. So if we looked at, this is upper level spelling, if we looked at the really early one, you'd see that the first part of it's like that initial consonant. Remember when your kids were learning how to read, and the word might be cap, and they'd get the k at the beginning correct, but then the rest of it'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So then they started getting the p at the end, and then they started filling in the vowel in the middle. That's just a natural order of learning spelling and reading, and that's the way this works also.
Okay.
So let's keep.
That's why it was out of order a little bit.
That's why it was out of order a little bit. 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 7, which is still good. 3 out of 4, 2 out of 2, and 4 out of 4. So these all look good. And these look good, and here in the middle, it's like a gap in their learning.
Okay.
Let's see, this is a 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6. 4 out of 5. 3 out of 3, and 1 out of 6. And then what we do is we add them up. So you can, because some of them carry on to the next page. So you have 0 out of 0 here, but 4 out of 5. So the total here is 4.
Okay.
This was 0 and 8 is the total. Here we have 0, 5 out of 7. Again, 0 carries down because it's just kind of simple math. Here we have 2 on the first row, 7 on the next page. So those have to add up to 9, but this person only gets 5 total, so you bring that 5 down. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, I'll have you do those next ones.
Where are those?
Okay, so then what we do is we go through and add up the total. So the total going across, you put here.
Okay.
And that's their total score for the points they could have gotten with the sounds that they're representing in their spelling. And then here we add in how many they spelled correctly to give us their actual total score. But you can see that this student is in this stage. So we'd put here that they're in the, I'll have you write it, syllable and affixes stage.
Just right here? Oh, right here. Okay.
And they're in the middle of that stage. So this is what they need to work on. And you actually had 3 that were in that stage in your class, in your little class of 7. So what we'll do next time we meet is I'll go through with you what you can do to help them move to the next stage, and then what they can do to move to the next stage.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Really